Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Just Gaming Today. Today we're going to continue with Orc Incremental. Play some more of this demo here. Last game we played through one of the trials, so I can show you that here. So when you, well, I can't, yeah, I've got the portal. I did do a couple of things in this to be able to activate the portal last time. It seems when you do this trial, you go into a completely separate game, but this game is still going on. So I do have a little bit of currency and stuff in this game because my orcs are just out there killing things in like level 1 or whatever it is. But we did a trial last time. We got through the exterminator, we completed it. There were a few hiccups as far as bugs in the game. One is when there's like this demon you fight that gets summoned and it throws everybody around the screen. It kind of threw its little demons off screen, and so my guys were off screen killing things, which was kind of interesting. But I think the only time that's a problem is during this particular quest. So the developers will have to, look about putting some boundaries on the screen so things bounce instead of go off screen. But overall, we completed it. We managed to get through it. The other thing is it said reach level 60 to complete. It actually marked it complete once I hit level 59. Once I beat level 59. So maybe it just needs you to get to level 60, but not actually defeat the boss. But anyways, we defeated the boss just to make things complete in my mind. What we got for that is we get a permanent, no matter what happens, the resets and stuff, we get a permanent reward of 1.05 times total damage for all your units. So the units get to do more damage. And that's all units too, which is nice. So just to review, we did a rebirth. We can see these are the items that we have. We've got our Blight Lotus up to a decent amount. So it's like 1.8 times earnings. So that's good. We do have our several unlocks. We did get the +1 draw. We got into some of these double chests. I tried to amplify the amount of gold that we can collect. So we got all those, and we opened some of these card draws. So rare cards, legendary, we didn't get the legendary. I think the epic is before this one. And then we got the uncommon or rare, the one that's before this one. So I'm liking where we're at the moment. Last time we had 111 points. We'll try and get more points than that this time and see how far we can progress. So we got our orc just beating on stuff here. This is level 2. Probably going to go ahead and just tell my orc to do that. We are going to unlock the alchemist for 100. She's already unlocked. We'll grab an extractor. And then the alchemist, we should be able to grab some chow real quick. We'll get a couple of chows. Actually, I'm just going to keep going on the chow. So we got 15 power now. So let's do some draws. So now the great thing about this is we're getting 3 different options here. So I'm going to go ahead and take a shaman there. And I'm going to take this orc because he's got some extra attack speed. We've got the second to last allied unit to die explodes, healing 50% of the max HP, has damage in a 300 unit radius. I don't know about that one. I don't like these things that happen when our stuff dies. So we'll take the orc. Let's do another draw. If an enemy afflicted with rupture dies, heal all units by 5% of the rupture unit's max HP. That seems pretty good. Another draw. All right, so we got a dragon. Let's grab the dragon there. I would like some more basic orc units. When an allied unit obtains rage, deal 3 times damage of the enraged unit to the rearmost enemy unit. Now, I had this one before, and I thought it was pretty good as far as a totem is concerned. So we're going to throw the totems over here. Not sure where to put the dragons. I guess we'll throw it there. Let's get this totem over here. So we still have 11 power, or 4 power, sorry. Dragon totem. When an allied creature drops below 30% HP, it gives rage to all allied units in a 100 unit radius. My spellcaster drops below 30% HP. I don't like any of these, so I guess I'm going to take a dragon again. Now I have one more space. I do like this. These every fifth I do like. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take that. So let that totem come out, and then we'll take a look at what we've got going on in the grand scheme of things on the front lines. Throw that there. All right, I'm not sure how this is going to go, but we'll kind of take our dragons up here. Yeah, this one, it's interesting. It's you can unlock this in the game, but it says work in progress. So I'm not sure that this building is functional yet, but we'll take a look see. So I can still do draws, but I don't need any at the moment. So let's just have it progress. I'm just going to go through here and like buy everything once that I can. Yeah. Just kind of get some basic upgrades going. There we go. I haven't bought that one yet, so this is 20. I'll go ahead and do that again. This is going from 30. Yeah, this is one that I definitely want. That the base damage on the Orc Warrior is really, really good. I've got a pretty good army unlocked at the moment, so not stressing about the upgrades too much. Would like to get an extractor guy running as well. I think he's 100. So again, with the fireball, I mentioned this a couple times. You can kind of preload fireballs, kind of running down the way there. So this is going to be the wizard here. I don't have my spell unlocked to make this do more damage, but that's okay. So we're at 87. When we kill the wizard, what are we going to get here? Have this happen again, because that's a pretty good amount of money there. So 253. All right, so we're going to go ahead and upgrade this. I'm going to get an extractor guy going. Oh, wait, we already have one extractor guy, right? 1 to 2, okay. Yeah, because it's 500. Okay. So let's get our spell. And let's get these cheap ones. So we have one more 100, which is here. We got a 120 here. I think I'm going to move on to some of the alchemist upgrades. Let's do the base attack speed on the shamans. We only have one shaman, but getting that speed going up is going to be pretty good. Do a couple of these. Not so sure about the dragons. They look really cool, but there's not a lot of places to improve them that I've seen so far. So my next one is 419 on that. Base attack on the warrior. Attack speed on the warrior. Let's go ahead and max that out because you only get 2 opportunities to do that one. And we're just going to move past this once we kill this wizard again. So far, so good on this run. Apologies if you hear my drink there. Thirsty. All those ice cubes bebopping around in the receptacle. Yeah, the fireball really helps if you're just kind of watching and whatnot. The fireball does help just kind of speed things along. If you're so inclined to launch a fire at your enemies here. So almost enough to do another Chow, which will give us +2 more power. We'll go ahead and do that. Our draws are sitting at 85, so we're still very cheap. I'd like to draw some more. Oops, sorry. I always push escape on that screen. Yeah, on that particular screen, I'd like to, on all this, the portal screen and whatnot, if you press escape, I think you should go back to the battle, not bring up a menu to go back to the main menu. Probably going to pause this at level 19 and see if we can just farm up some gold a little bit. The last, that particular trial that I ran, if you watch the last video, that trial was really nice because it's, each of these enemies split into smaller enemies, but the smaller enemies provided gold, and they split again into smaller enemies. So there was all this splitting occurring, and there's all these different enemies that you could kill and earn gold from. So it was quite the farmer's delight there if you were trying to farm things. Let's see if we can grab an orc, a witch doctor. I don't have a witch doctor yet either. These were 2 though. I am going to go ahead and get a witch doctor because I don't have a healer yet. I think it'd be good to have a witch doctor healer. Let's go back here. Not too far off our next chow, so we'll try and grab a chow and do another draw or 2. I would like some more orc warriors. I do like the dragons. I'm not sure. They probably went with dragon over wyvern just to try and keep Games Workshop from suing them. I don't know if Games Workshop has the ability to do that, but usually the type of flying draconic creatures that hang around with orcs is a wyvern. So wyverns are kind of like dragons, but they have like scorpion tails and fly around and, steal cattle and stuff like that. So, and orcs tame them and ride them. So you'll see in a lot of fantasy games, there'll be like orc wyvern riders and whatnot. Then there's goblins that ride wolves and stuff. So what I like about this particular game is there's a lot they could do with it. You could have goblins come out and be goblin wolf riders and have like units of goblins instead of one orc. You got like a unit of 4 goblins. They're trying to throw, maybe javelins or something at the enemy or throw rocks or, whatever they want them to do. But this is quite good as far as, a base start to the game as far as letting you experiment with the game with this demo. Let's do a draw here, see what we get. Ooh, wow, we got a rare orc. I've not seen something like this. So very high health, lower damage, but then we have +20 health. So 813 health. I think I'm taking this guy. I like the catapult idea, but I'll take that super rare orc. Let's do another draw here. Common. I'm going to go ahead and get a catapult lined up. It's not going to be able to participate yet, but I'm kind of okay with that. I'll put this guy right in the middle here. One more up here, and we should be able to add the catapult. We do more draws too. Now I see the advantage of the temple where you can delete units. So if we get far enough where we're able to get into the temple range of 10,000 gold, being able to delete units without those advantages, like you saw on that rare orc, it had 2 upgrades, already. It had 2 things that I can't make happen in the game, right? So unless you draw that rare card, you're not going to get those bonuses on a unit. So being able to draw more cards with better abilities, you might actually want to delete some units to make room for your better cards that you've drawn. All right, so I think we're pretty much ready to go through the deal there. But let's do a draw, see if we can get a 1-pointer anywhere. We did get another Orc Warrior, but let's see. Allied fighter units give rage to spellcaster units. Radius, first time they drop 30% HP. When an allied creature drops below 30% HP, it gives rage to all allied units. I think I'm going to take this Orc again, because it's going to be able to squeeze in there and do some work for us. All right. So we're full up again. Let's look at Bloodspire is cheap. Let's do that. Let's take a look at the Alchemist real quick. We can add to some range there if we want. This I think we just buy once, but I think we're going to save up and get the Age of Metal started with the blacksmith here. That way we get our little dude and start being able to look at what's going on there. I don't think we have many points. We have 8 points saved up for the blight when we do our reset again. All right, we got the blacksmith online. Then we're going to move forward after this. Going to have the extractor do a little more work there with some extra range. Now this is the summoned demon that I was talking about. When it blows up, it was blowing the little tiny versions of himself off the screen. So I was like, yikes. So this green goo you're seeing is from the Witch Doctor. The Witch Doctor throws flasks that heals your units. And then as the game progresses, you can have him throw different flasks. He can throw flasks that help you accelerate your units and attack faster. He can throw like damaging flasks. No, he has an ability to make the goo, the enemies in contact with the goo attack slower or whatnot. He has some interesting abilities. Let's go back here. Alchemist. So for 150, I'm going to get that. That one's done. I'm also going to increase the range of the shaman there. I only have one shaman. Wouldn't mind adding some more shamans to the mix here. Now this is just base health for everybody. So I think that's a pretty good use of 250. I need another extractor dude. So I think we're going to go ahead and look to get this one next. How many times can I do this? Probably farm 29. Before the extractor dude, I'm going to go ahead and there's a lot of guys on this one. So let's take a look at this one and see how much gold we can get. We're at 726 at the start. So a little, what about 140 or 220, sorry. It's way off on that. So let's do the Iron Will. So the Orc boys will do more damage now. And then we'll look to get a second extractor and look to do some cheap upgrades. If we can manage some. We do have a catapult purchased already, so we've got that kind of going on. The second extractor should be online here right now. Okay, so nothing available. So we're looking at, I'm trying to see when a little exclamation mark comes up. So we have stuff available around the 200 mark. And then what is our Chow is at 1,000. I'm going to go ahead and progress to 29, see if we can do a little better with gold on the next level. Usually the first time you complete a level, you're looking at, it looks very similar. You're looking at getting like a chest or some type of bonus typically. So just progress. There's the little chest there. Sometimes you'll get a chest regardless. What's this guy? Bring additional flasks. So you can throw more flasks as the witch doctor. So here, these are all 500. Let's get Unbound Fury and get Rage online. So Rage is as your orcs get taken down and their damage or their health taken down, they fly into a rage and get a bunch of different bonuses. You'll actually see the graphics on the orc. They'll get bigger and they'll start to do a lot more damage. Blood Spite. Sure, we'll do some more damage. So I think this is probably the next one that is the cheapest. You can see, well, the Fireball is actually the cheapest, so I might upgrade my Fireball next. Then we'll get a little bit of money here and then progress on to the next one. I think the next one's a wizard, so let's just progress and kill this wizard off. I do have my spell, so I'm going to cast that and see how much damage I can cause to him before my guys even get to him. You can see my guys aren't taking much damage from him, so that's good. So we'll go ahead and keep progressing a little bit here. 44% base health, that's pretty good. So now this guy, my chieftain is giving me bonuses here. He gives me like plus, I don't know, 19% or something like that on defensive ones. So that is quite good. Do I have enough for Chow? I believe I do. Let's go to Chow here. Now we're 2. I don't have, I'll probably have to get Chow again before I could put the catapult in. So 34. Let's go here. What is our... It's 326 for a draw. I don't know. I think we're okay just kind of cruising to the next one here. That was a lot of gold there. Let's repeat this one a few times and see if we can gather up some monies for another Chow. If we do another Chow and a draw, we get another orc, we'll be able to put both the catapult and another orc in. The orcs are doing really good amount of damage. I don't think the dragons are really worth it, quite honestly, at the moment, because I don't see a lot of ways to increase their damage. So I think I'd rather have 6 orc boys rather than 2 dragons here. But I like the look of them, right? The idea of having a dragon. You can see the orcs are killing stuff really fast. The dragons are just kind of puffing fire on things and kind of meh. All right, so let's see. We can put the catapult in now. Let's put the catapult kind of over here. And then we've got 1 space left. So if we go back, we should be able to gather up some gold and do another draw. Let's go and do that. All right, so we got a totem. Drops below 30%, adds rage. Units gain rage to spellcaster units when they drop 30%, or another catapult. Don't care for much of this, but maybe I'll take a catapult, potentially replace a dragon. Yeah, see, the dragons have like no hit points or no damage. So I'm going to take a dragon out and put put another catapult in. I really am a fan of the dragons, but I'm not a fan of how little damage they do. So to get a rare witch doctor, so I'm going to grab this while I can. And we're not able to put it in yet, but what I can do is take a dragon out and put a witch doctor in. I think the dragons are things that are going to be for later, just simply because they don't do much damage. So 24, 24. And I can't improve them with my dudes yet. Maybe the last dude you add in here, that Hexamancer or whatever he is, he might be a guy that can help out. Let's do another draw here. So dragon, orc. I really want an orc, but what's this Iron Eagle? Allied war machine units deal 1.75 damage to enemies afflicted with rupture. Sorry. I'm gonna grab another orc because I really wanted like a full solid orc war line. Let's go out here and gather up some gold. We'll do one more draw and see if we can get another orc. Hopefully it's like a special orc that has some extra abilities. We'll do the draw here and then we'll start progressing again once we get this filled up. That little bird that flies around, you can kill it and it drops a chest, but they're fairly difficult to hit until you get your fireball upgraded. So let's do our draw here. Come on, orc. Oh, rare orc, yes. So 1.3 total health. Yeah, I'm down with that. All right, so he'll come up and go into the line on his own. This guy looks cool. Yeah, and you see he's purple. Yeah, see, they even do a color differential. I like that. All right, so got a bunch of good stuff here. Let's start progressing again. They're just slaughtering. So really the thing I'm going to focus on is this one here. I want to get another Iron Will here soon. Feral Might. Yeah, I think I'm going to potentially save up for this one. So 2.8K. So you see this one's 2.8K. This one's 500. So that's going to push an Orc Warrior 1 point of damage. This one's going to push it way higher. 20 extra points. So I think it's worth saving up for it. Let's see if I can repeat this one. Nope. It went to the, see if I can kill one of these. If I can kill it before it summons it, you get like some bonus gold off of those. They kind of act like they're chests. All right, so he is officially perished. We'll move on to 41. I think I'm going to rock 41 a couple times and see if we can get that orc damage up. But you can see the orcs are already doing just tons and tons of damage. The more damage they do, the better off we'll be. I wouldn't mind picking up some more totems and a couple more shamans. But the orc boys are where it's at on this run. Okay, we're pretty close to our upgrade. It's what, 2.8? Hope everybody's doing well and enjoying the summer, at least if you're in the northern hemisphere. It is starting to get hot where I'm at, so it's going to be in the 90 degrees Fahrenheit tomorrow. So it's going to be a little rough on the temperature side of things. All right, so we got our orcs definitely in a good situation doing damage. I think we'll go ahead and progress some. Try and get to maybe 49. Just kind of let it churn for a bit. Let's make the extractors a little faster so they can do their work. Let's see, we're checking our blight. So we're at 32. We're all in a line for our fireball, so I guess we should be fireballing. Nice. Again, you can preload the fireballs, as you get things coming out, you can just have them stepping right into fireball goodness. So now where we were doing 1 point, you're still doing 1 point. I don't understand necessarily this plus 10% to the base. It really doesn't do a lot damage wise, but health wise, it's pretty decent. So do I have any cheap stuff? Let's see here. So nothing under 500 here, but I don't think I've done these infusions yet. So I'm going to go ahead and do these. And then we'll take a look at the alchemist and see what he has to offer. Yeah, we haven't done these toxics yet either. So I'm going to go ahead and do the toxic fighting and then do the toxic resistance. Kind of get those working for us. 2 more levels and we're going to farm a bit. This looks like potentially a good farming level too. There's a lot to kill there. Got the toxic resistance, so we got that going. At least get the first level of stuff is oh, bird snuck by. Yeah, get the first level of everything and kind of get that first bonus without having to pay the big price tag is generally what I'm looking for. Now this one here is just gobs and gobs of stuff coming at you, so it might be a good one to repeat, but we'll check out 49 before we go fight the boss here. See if this is similar. If not, you can always go back. So here's some higher level units with the knights and the archers here, and then we got some priests back here. So you might get a decent amount of gold off of all of these. We got all that going on. Now let's I've got 2 witch doctors, so it's probably not a bad idea. So this, we've got full metal resistance once. Full metal might would be good. Let's do that once. We have 1,000. Let's go back here. I am gonna do the witch doctor there. And basically that gives me an 18%, or sorry, a 9% chance to cast an additional flask. And then a small chance of throwing all available flasks spread. The superconductive is nice. I think I'm going to do that so I can get... Well, I only have 1 shaman, but... I don't know. I'm hoping to get more shaman. So maybe it's best to save up for the chow. So we're at 1.08. Let's see how much money we get off of this. I need 2.75k for the chow. That wasn't what it was. 310-ish gold. So I can go ahead and use my fireballs. Yeah, let's see if we can get the chow going. And then we do have units stacked to go in, but I think it's just 2 dragon units, basically. The other thing, we have that acolyte. The acolyte opens up 1,000. He's got the one that opens up the tower. It's like 10,000 to get to the tower. So let's just stick with the plan for the chow at the moment. We'll have some open power, then we can just progress to the boss. I think we'll easily kill the boss. Just get the chow here. What does this one do again? Yeah, and this is the friendly units that come into contact with their goo get a temporary increase in speed. So that's why I was saying the witch doctors have the ability to kind of speed up your units. Then the other one is the one where if the enemies come in to contact with the goo, they have a temporary decrease in speed. So he can start to have other effects other than the healing effect of the goo on the orcs. Now, yeah, we don't have anybody that we can do anything with. I'm going to park the dragons a little out of the way over here. 1.25 for a draw. Sorry about that. Let's see if we can get a draw real quick. Fine. When I get into the 50s, I like to rework through all of these high shaman abilities here, because at that point you're kind of able to earn 500 gold pretty quickly. So you can kind of work through each of those levels and get everything kind of leveled up again. Other than this one, other than the Iron Will, because I've kind of, really pushed to get through. We're going to earn enough money after this one, so to do our draw, I believe. I'm kind of close. Yeah, we got it. Let's do the draw here. So no rares, but we did get it work. Every 5th allied spellcaster attack applies rupture. So I am going to get this because I do want some rupturing going on. I don't think I have one of those yet. Enemy afflicted with rupture dies, heal all allied units. These kind of pair off of each other. This one here is probably my favorite totem here. This snake totem, every 5th hit taken by an allied fighter is reflected in a 200 unit radius. So this does quite a bit of damage when it occurs. So we got the wizard there. I think we've already killed him a couple of times, but go ahead and do it again, and then we should progress to 51. So far, so good here. All right. All right, so I did want to start working through this again, so I'm going to go ahead and do those two. Now, I do like this one because I can just aim down the middle, so maybe I'll farm this one a little bit if it gives a decent amount of gold. It doesn't really appear to be giving a lot of gold, though. But let's see, 266. Oh, well, my extractors just needed to pick them up. So we were at about 460 when it started. So that's already 100, 200, about 300-ish gold, a little less than 300. So it's probably going to vary a little bit. I really would like to hit that bird, but you just can't aim it fast enough. There are improvements for that, so that's what we're going to end up doing. All right, we'll let our guys take care of this. This is already unlocked. 15% base damage for the warrior at 600. That would give Shaman, Witch Doctor, Rare Witch Doctor. And this is my ability to fire fireballs faster. Let's do that in this, and then... Oh yeah, that's way faster. Nice. So progress after this one. Not really sure that... I don't know that this particular wave structure is giving me a ton of money, but we'll probably try and pause again at 55. Okay, I'm going to check her. So we got 50 rebirth at the moment, which is decent. It's about a little less than half of what we earned last time. This one looks like a decent little run there. There's a lot to kill on this screen. I'll try redoing this one. All right, I'm going to up my fireball damage. Then we'll do the casters. Got some health for 700. Let's do that. The other thing that would be quite effective with this particular grouping is with all these orc warriors having this unbound fury again would be really nice. There's also this vampiric claws to heal yourself when you're in rage, and getting this guy unlocked would be good. So let's get the acolyte. Acolyte had... Who had that one about this one here? Orc warriors have a chance to trigger rage when killing an enemy. Plus 10% rage trigger on kill chance for orc warriors. So that one would be really good if we can get back up to like 8 grand again. But for the moment, I don't have any money anywhere. Let's go ahead and progress after this one and see what we can do there. 8 grand's probably quite a ways off. These guys. You do a lot. You do a lot of damage with that fireball, but you can do a decent amount, I guess. Just going to keep progressing, and maybe we'll farm 59 a little bit. This one's got a lot of archers, so that might be a lot of gold. Let's try and farm this one again and see if we can just farm some money. So we're at 2.4K. Let's see if we can get this level. How much do we get? It's about 340 gold. And our dudes can take care of it on their own. So I'm not worried about, you know, their ability to progress there. Let's do a draw. So we got a witch doctor that has plus 20 health, plus 2 bonus on kill. They don't really kill, so I don't know. I don't think that's a great one. Every 5th spellcaster attack applies rupture to a target. We have one of those. And then we have a special catapult. Now, replace a catapult with a special catapult. It's going to do more damage. 129 damage seems pretty good versus 118. Now he has health. So I'm going to take him out. Put him in. Okay. And then we'll do another draw. This is a dragon with extra health. Guess we're going to take the totem. I just want something to squeeze in here. I want another orc warrior, but I'm not going to get it. And I haven't seen a shaman in forever, so yeah, it's kind of rough. Let's put him over there, and let's go back out into the fray. Where am I at on my, so we're at only 51. Let's go ahead and advance to 59. So that's 1,000. Go and get the superconductive and have the shaman do a little bit of extra work there. I don't think it's very, very good for this particular setup at the moment because I only have one shaman. But if I get some more, that would be nice. All right, we're going to repeat 59 for a couple runs at least. So act like we have this spell. I've never unlocked that spell yet. Stuff's too expensive. Let's go back to the high shaman. So we can get a lot more health. Orc warrior base damage. Wonder if I should just finish off the extractor. We're getting quite a bit of gold out of this level 59. Am I getting any more blight? Now we're at 71. I'm not really sure. Not entirely sure what makes the blight total go up. So we're at 72. Let's see if killing off some more of these levels keep increasing it. Maybe it's the amount of damage dealt or the amount of enemies killed. Still at 72 there. Initially, I thought it was the progression of the levels, the level waves that you're on. But I think there's multiple things feeding into this. So still 72. And it seems to jump too, like it'll go from 72 to 98. You know, it doesn't typically jump in 1-point increments. All right, so we'll go ahead and progress. We've got about 4.5K saved up. We should be able to get through the next boss. Probably looking at getting some more chow here. Sorry, back to game. Chow. 4.4K. I should have been firing at that dude, but that's all right. We should be able to beat this guy up pretty well. I don't know. He's killing off our orcs pretty well. Nice. We did okay. So I haven't done a lot in the 60s here, so she's still at 72. I'm not sure why. It's a pretty fast level there. We earned about, well, let's repeat this level and see what we end up getting. I like the previous level better. Let's go back real quick and repeat this level. I like this level better because there's less stuff. You know, we can probably kill them faster. And yeah, good. There's probably better farming levels than others. This one seems to be a pretty quick one. Once we get into them, they die pretty quick. So about 2K. What I'd really like to get is that Rage on Kill. It's the next one I want to aim for, but it's like 8 grand. I don't know. It might take a little while to farm through that. This one improves our rage, so basically you get attack speed to all your units when you're in rage as well, right? So let's 20% base rage attack speed increase to all your units. This is a pretty decent amount of money, so this is a decent farming level. Should be at about 4K when this one's complete, right? Oh, yeah, now it's starting to wear off. We'll go ahead and progress again and see if we can get up to that 8,000. Yeah, and this is the one I was talking about with the temple. That temple, I could delete the dragons, and I'm wondering if that would decrease the draw price. I wonder, as you delete units, does your draw price go down? If I was a dev, I would have that in the game, where if you delete a unit, basically your draw price goes down. So you have a way to, you have some additional type of a bonus there. That's plus 35 damage for the catapult. It seems quite good, but I don't want to get distracted. I want to actually do this road rage. Interesting. Still a lot of money left to go. Now this looks like an interesting one because I can fire a fireball just straight down the middle. A lot of stuff kind of just piling up there. I'm going to repeat this one and see if I can get some decent money out of that. So we're at about 6.5K. Just launching fireballs all day. Have our dudes come up. That's a decent amount of money. Now I did see there was a challenge in the shaman hut that basically said, you know, your warriors don't do any damage. The only way you can damage things is your fireball. It's like, oh boy, that sounds definitely like an interesting way to play. And your fireball does a lot of extra damage. What's this one do again? Flacerations of the witch doctor. I'm not going to increase flacerations at the moment. I really want that road rage fuel. This should get us there. Yep. All right, and that's, oh, you can actually take that more than once. Interesting. So if you take it more than once, it gets it to 20% chance. Wow. Just a 10% chance on kill to at least have rage trigger seems like a good deal to me. So we'll go ahead and progress again after this. We'll kill this one more time. Do a little progression. Look to do, again, some of the cheaper upgrades because we're going to be earning quite a bit of money here. What's our... Yeah, we're only at 73. So we progressed like 4 more levels or 5 more levels from where we were, and we still just have 73. I don't really understand the dark ritual blight points at all. But that's okay. I don't need to understand it. Not yet. And also, I'm sure all of this is going to change as the game progresses and gets closer. So 74 now. Let's see what we get after this. This is 66. Still 74. Interesting. That looks like a decent one to repeat, but we'll repeat 69 because it's right before the boss. This one, oh yeah, I was seeing these last time. So I did get farther than this because the trebuchets started coming out, and I was I was trying to fireball through the group to hit the trebuchets because they were kind of lining up right in the middle. So I just hover over the trebuchet and hopefully my arrows would, my fireballs would finally get through and start doing more damage there. There we go. I'm pretty sure my dudes can just take care of this if I want. So let's take a look here. I'm very interested in opening this because I've not done it yet. It says work in progress, which I don't like. So I'm wondering if it's just a waste of 10,000 gold. But I want to do it, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it in this run and see. Should have 10,000 gold relatively quickly. We're almost back to 8,000 again. Not sure why this has red around it. Maybe it's just because he's the acolyte. Yeah, they each have different colors. That's what it is. Okay. Nice. So 10,000 is not too far off. I'm hoping that that temple does work. Because, or maybe they're just doing work in progress here because they don't have a icon that they've created. Trying to aim at the trebuchet again. There we go. Almost. Come on, guys. We can do it. Yeah, you can see when the orcs hit, they're just like doing really well. All right, so we're going to take that one. Now let's go back to the portal. Put units you don't want here to prepare to sacrifice them for a free draw card. Yes, that's exactly what I was hoping would happen because I wanted to, I want a way to recycle units and, get extra draws. So that's perfect. It doesn't make it cheaper. It just makes it so that sacrifice 3 units for a free draw. Okay, I'm okay with that at the moment. Because this is just a regular catapult, right? Yeah. Okay, so you get a 3-for-1 exchange. So sacrifice, draw. So we got dragon, shaman. So I want another shaman, and I can actually fit him in. So that's kind of perfect. Because those were doing nothing for me. I know I used draws to get them, but they really weren't doing anything for me. So, Okay, and I'm glad I know that this is actually something that can be used. It's actually active, and it's not a work in progress. I think that work in progress is just denoting that they don't have an icon yet. Okay. So let's progress to the boss now. And then we'll, so we're at 99 rebirth. Blight gained. Yeah, so we'll look to maybe go to, I really don't know how much blight I want to aim for. Maybe 200-ish. We'll see. Let's kind of see where things are. I think we were about 150 or something. Sure how much we were at there. Any cheapies? This one's cheap, so we'll go ahead and get the shaman. Now that I have 2 shaman, we'll go ahead and increase that. 3.5, 900, we'll go ahead and increase that. This rage threshold is really good, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that at it too. Attack speed. this celerity flask seems like wherever the goo is, just have your dudes attack faster seems like a good thing too. And you only have to buy it once. It's interesting as well. Now, they have to be in the goo, but you know, the goo stays for a little while, so. I have 2 catapults with me, so I'm wondering if it'd be good to, you know, increase the catapult damage. That's quite a big jump in damage there. However, for just, was it 2k more, we're doing everybody's damage. How much is my orc damage? It's at 8,000. That might not be a bad idea either, but this is 20 for 8,000 or 5 for 4. Maybe best to save it up. So we're kind of just churning through these levels. So we're at 100 at the moment. I'm just going to let it keep kind of going here. I think we were around level 80 last time when we chose to do the reset. So orcs are looking at dying again. You see that they're not dead, but they're taking lots of damage now again. So we're going to need to do some increases in their health. What did this one do again? Attack speed for all your units. Oh yeah, that's really good. 30% base attack speed for catapult. I'm going to go ahead and do the spell here to do some extra damage to him. See, he's killing off my orc boys. Don't do that. Okay. So we're able to get through him. I think I'm going to go ahead and farm 81 a little bit here. Make some decisions on what I want to do here. So we're almost at 8. Yeah, we're at 8 now. So let's go ahead and do that. That's going to be a big spend item there, but having my orc warriors just blasting things is going to be a good thing for everybody. And I have a lot of orc warriors, so that's good. Get to see how much. So we have about 1.73. Let's just see what get out of this. So about 500-ish. Not terrible. Yeah. So about 1,000 every 2 rounds. So we can kind of let that churn if we want. That's going to be 44 health. Probably not a bad deal there. That's another 44 health for 2.5k. Trying to see if anything is within reach here. Those are locked. Frosty Flax unlocks with this upgrade. Not sure why it's locked though. Maybe that's something in the demo you can't do. Not sure. I've never unlocked this guy, so there's another guy that is here. I'm not too far off Chow, so let's get some Chow and then see if I can do a draw here soon. And then we'll start doing some of the other upgrades as we progress. But I think getting some more Chow will be good. What's my dark? So we're at 129. That's quite a lot. Yeah, so there's our Chow. And then my draw is at how much? 3,000? Yeah, 3,444. So it shouldn't take too long. We'll do a draw and then we'll start progressing again. Maybe we'll aim for 200-ish rebirth or 200 and something. Not quite sure. We're at 129 still. The things on the tree are getting quite expensive. So all the cheap ones have been purchased, I think, for the most part. So to do something effective on that tree, I think you would want to accumulate probably about 200-ish here, so we can get some new things open and maybe improve some of the gold collection capabilities and so forth. Looks like there's a bunch of rebirths. You can actually accumulate quite a large amount of blight and still not have gotten through the entire tree. So we're going to do our draw. Let's see what we get. So we got a rare witch doctor, which has total attack range. So I guess he could throw the goo farther. Huh. Here's my problem with him, though. You see, so he's got more health, more damage, more attack range, but 10 goo heal per tick versus 20 goo heal per tick. Yeah, I'm not down with that. I think I'm going to take another shaman. Not sure why it does that. I'll just take a regular shaman. We'll get that going. Then let's go back. Accumulated a good bit of wealth here again. We'll just start progressing again. It's 15% attack speed for shaman. We have 3 shaman now. How many times can you do this? 3 times. Got tons of stuff available there. Yeah. They're decent. Do I have the 5? Oh, I do have enough for this thing. Just have everything do more damage with that one there. I'm not opposed to this extra catapult damage too. 35 extra catapult damage would be nice. Probably does more now, right? Yeah, it's just base. It adds to the base, which makes everything better. So yeah, let's do the catapult. Just gold exploding everywhere. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess my big problem is I just don't see, maybe it's this dude that will increase the dragons, but I don't see any way to make the dragons better, which is why I wanted to turn them in. It's unfortunate because I like the idea of the dragons. It's just at the moment, it's tough. Might save up for that rage mechanic here. So we're at 89. I'm going to, where's my mouse here? Go ahead and farm this a little bit and see if we can get that rage together. You can see some of our orcs are getting down into very low hit points. So let's trigger the rage at 35%. See if we can pick up some of these cheaper upgrades as well. We're not dying, so that's good. We're going to get some more health. There we go. What's our blight at? We're about 163. So we are progressing pretty well with the blight score. I don't know if killing this multiple times will progress it. 164. See, sometimes you get like a point for each of these things. It's very strange progressions. Let's see when this one's done. Did we get it again? Let's see. No. So it's got a really weird way of progressing. I'm not opposed to it. It's just I'm trying to understand it and I'm just not picking up where it's coming from. So we got back to the wizard here. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Q spell at it, the flurry. Let's see if we can bring him down quite a bit. These wizards aren't really a big challenge. Once your dudes get to him, they die pretty quickly. So here we would bring 44 health for 2.4, 44 health for 2.5. Let's go ahead and get some more health there. I'm probably to the point now where I need to build me a little bigger. So what's my next chow? It's 11.26. We're at 164. So we get another 40 there. That's what we did, but we'll just keep progressing. And I'm not sure if there's like a maximum level. I mean, it's already showing us that we're gonna, whoa, look at all these guys. It's gonna be interesting. It's already showing us that we can get at least 110. So I don't really think there is a maximum here. It seems like a lot of gold right there. To see. Let's get the health again. And this one is more health. But should probably just go ahead and get the other extractor there. Get this going a little faster as far as picking up the gold and stuff. Yeah, I see the gold progression is quite good. I mean, we're earning a lot of extra gold at this point. Could do another draw and see what we get, but we don't have enough for the chow, so we'll try and get to 99 and see if that's going to give me a bunch of extra gold. Honestly, I'd love to add 2 more rare orcs to the mix. This one where you're kind of strung along here, where you keep progressing, is I always like to. Ooh, let's do the repeat. So we're at almost 10K. So let's get to let's check this thing out. There's some things on this screen here. This was what? Plus 20% base damage for spell casters. I think this one and this one are well worth it. So I'm going to get the heal with the rage first. And then I also want to get these bracer things here. Just taking attack speed, you see how much it increases your attack speed is quite a lot. It's significant. So I like that. I also like that there's a mastodon here. So another, another type of creature that they could potentially add to the game, where you see these, orcs or goblins on this big mastodon. I think in Warhammer, fantasy, Mastodon is used for the Chaos Marauder faction, where these, the Chaos humans like enslave these Mastodons and turn them into giant war machines. So pretty cool, but I don't see why they couldn't use it, with the orcs as well. Orcs are typically, on the larger, they want the larger creatures too. Could see adding giants, ogres, goblins, kobolds. You know, they could go a lot of different ways with the different greenskin type races. Yeah, I'm just thinking fantasy in general. I definitely pull a lot of my, fun out of Warhammer. So the different Warhammer games, you can there's such a rich history in fantasy and 40K especially, but fantasy as well. If you want to read about, orcs or chaos or goblins or empire humans, different types of fantasy figures within the war races or figures within the Warhammer Fantasy or 40K realm. I know this isn't a Warhammer game, but it reminds me of it. But there's so much good literature in that realm. One of the icons in Warhammer passed away recently, John Blanche. If you've followed Warhammer Games Workshop through the years, I think I started playing Warhammer. Gosh, it's probably 40 years ago now. I'm old. I'm older. I don't like to say I'm old, but I'm getting up there. I started playing probably 40 years ago. I have some of my miniatures from when I first started playing Warhammer, and I think it's got to be about 40 years ago at this point. And you amass quite a collection of love, I'll call it, because there's I have a real love for the game for sure. Let's do the bracers there for the speed. But if you've been around the Warhammer Games Workshop or White Dwarf magazine, you've absolutely seen John Blanche's art. He was an icon and a pillar in the Games Workshop community. Just a fantastic artist and, from what I understand, a cool person as well. I never met him, but his art is absolutely iconic. And if you follow Warhammer, just look at some of the pictures and, some of them, if you see John Blanche's name there, really appreciate what he added to the game and the history and the art really draws you in. One of the big appeals of Warhammer and games like them is the artistic value of not just their miniatures, but their the artwork that the miniature creators used as inspiration. Because you can certainly see that in the game, and vice versa. The miniatures spawn artwork, and the spawns miniatures and different ideas. A game developer might see a picture that John had drawn 20 years ago and be, hey, what's that type of weapon that Dark Elf is using? I really, really like that. I'm going to create a weapon, for the Dark Elves, a magic item that's Dark Elf specific. And I'm going to draw on this art to kind of fuel my, my fire to create that item and make it pretty good for the Dark Elves or whatnot. It's just one example of how I can see things working in people's minds. I think it's pretty cool. All right, I think we've kind of amassed some pretty decent stuff here. Let's look. I'm probably going to spend 3K there. Let's go back. We're at about 11.2 there before we can progress. So we're at 203. So let's get to 100, and we're probably going to call it quits and do a rebirth again. Whoa, what's this guy? Oh my gosh. Right, so this is significant here. I have not seen anything like this before. Yeah, I don't know if we're getting past level 100. Wasn't prepared for this. Okay, let's do the fireball, I guess. Oh, this is very interesting. I don't know what this thing is. So thus far in the game, we've just been fighting against humans. So this is rather interesting to see. I'm going to go ahead and up my fireball damage and see if I can help these orcs. But the goo is keeping them alive, which is good. But they're starting to perish, I think. Let's do... I don't know what to do there. Yeah, I don't think we're making it through this guy. We're not far off. We'll say that. Wow, okay. So we're going to go back a level. Um, okay, we're going to go ahead and do the rebirth. We've been playing for a while now. So let's do a rebirth, get 203, and then we'll try again next time. Um, yeah, I think there's quite a lot of things to do in this game. Now, like last time, I'll go ahead and do this all, pick the chieftain here. All acolyte upgrades are enhanced. Okay, plus 14 player fireball damage. 1.71 total blight gain multiplier. Oh, wow. Plus 20 damage for Orc Warrior. He's my dude. Dragor the Oathbreaker. Yeah, I think Orgel the Rage Bearer is going to be my dude. All right, well, we'll pick up again next time. We'll have some points to spend for sure here, and we'll have fun on this tree, see if we can get some stuff unlocked. I hope you enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you're doing in Orc Incremental or if you tried the demo yet. If you haven't, it's free right now. You can just play this completely for free, and it's a lot of fun. So I would encourage you to pick it up and give it a shot. Take care, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.